Iman Shumpert, he is back with us in studio, and you are our new analyst. You will be a regular here on NBA
Yes, I
Today.
will, man. Thank y'all for having me. You know, I love to talk some basketball.
Yes, sir.
Brian, we
Some
ready
of
for a
those
good
hairdo
time?
Shump were legendary. Man. I mean, that was some great stuff there, man.
Well, hopefully we're going to be seeing a couple more dudes because we're going to be seeing you a whole lot. What do you say, Iman? Let's get straight to it. We have a lot to get to. We're going to start our show in Sacramento, where the Lakers took on the Kings. And you see that? This is the first time this season LeBron wore a special patch. It commemorates his 23 seasons in the NBA. He's going to wear it for the rest of the year. And what better place to start than where it all began, Brian, 23 years ago in Sacramento.
Shout out to Darius Miles there. Shout out to Carlos Boozer. And I'm not sure the defense of Mike Bibby was the way to go.
Yeah, so this was 23 years ago when
Christie
LeBron
signed?
James made his NBA debut. Fast forward to last night, things looked a little bit different, although the patch is very cool. Is that a breadcrumb as to what's to come for the season for him? But
Hey!
LeBron, look out.
Oh, man. He ain't that old.
23 years later. But the Sacramento Kings, they were doing this, raining down threes, Bobby Marks.
How about a plus 27 on threes? There you see the block right now in transition. Wide open three there. That's the difference last night. Plus
really
27.
was.
Malik Monk knows his trade season.
Well, now to the third quarter here. DeMar DeRozan finding Russell Westbrook, who knows this Lakers team well. The Kings extend their lead to 20. And then later in the third year, the Kings still up. Doncic drives in the paint, hits this nice off glass. Doncic finished the third quarter with 40 points, but the rest of the Lakers team finished with 43 points. So to the fourth quarter we go here, Brian.
Yeah, the Lakers needed to get some stops, and DeRozan got wherever he wanted.
Yeah, they did not. He was the king of the fourth. He had 32 points in this one. Monk finding Precious Achiuwa, dagger three, the story of the game. Hey, JJ Redick, what do you see that went wrong here?
No, it's literally we can't make a shot. I mean, you look at it. First of all, they're right there with us as being one of the worst shooting teams in the league. We're down 16 with a minute and 40 seconds to go. We couldn't make a shot, and they're making everything. We weren't going to win that game.
Okay.
Yeah, the win probability was like loss probability was 98% at that time. Or 99%. We're not going to win that game. It's 99%. We're not going to win that game.
All right, so to JJ's point, the Kings shot 17 for 26 on threes last night. Good for 65%. Y'all, that is the highest three-point field goal percentage allowed in a game in Lakers history when defending at least 25 attempts. So LA only made 8 of those threes. And the Lakers, they've now lost 3 straight. Still no Austin Reeves, of course. He continues to nurse that calf strain. But Brian, I got to ask you to put on your doctor's hat here and diagnose what you see.
Unfortunately, it's a simple diagnosis. They've got the 30th ranked three-point shooting in the league. So they're just not going to shoot very well on most nights, okay? They've got the 26th ranked defense in the league. They're not going to defend well on most nights. That makes your margin for error extremely thin. And the fact that they're in 5th place, like comparing yourself to the Kings, like statistically, the Lakers are close to the Kings in a lot of ways that are uncomfortable, but they're not close to them in the standings. And the fact that they're 5th in the standings, quite frankly, is a basketball miracle. They've played 37 games and they've been outscored by 24 points. To be 10 games over 500 in that situation is amazing. And the bad thing is, you've got a tough schedule left. The Lakers' schedule historically is backloaded. It is again. They've got a bunch of games with the top teams for TV purposes. I think they've got the 6th hardest schedule. They have the 2nd most games left, which is difficult. Okay, 7th most difficult. They've got the 2nd most games left, which is problematic because LeBron's not going to be playing in a lot of these back-to-backs, like including tonight against Atlanta. They're just a tough hand that they're holding.
When I look at it, I don't panic. The reason I don't panic is because LeBron and Luka have been in these type of situations. We understand as analysts, and we're watching, we're seeing, they're not panicking because they know we just have to go to matchups. They have to get in the playoffs and they have to get to matchups. These two guys know how to win. When I look at them, I see that they're too ball dominant. And when you have 2 ball dominant guys and you're no longer allowing LeBron to dominate the ball, you're now asking him to be a catch and shoot guy. He needs the ball to get in that rhythm. But now we need Luka to create the plays if we're going to be a good playoff team. So that's where the imbalance comes for me when I look at them. What they need to add when we start talking about the break and we start talking about the deadline, I think they need to add a big that can shoot. I mean, if we can do some sort of stretching that gives us a little bit more time to get these shots off, LeBron will work his way into a rhythm. I just don't know how you do it. It's tough. You know, that's the tough part of coaching. But I agree with JJ Redick in saying that if they're making shots, their season looks a lot different, and then the things that we're discussing up here sound a lot different.
I think the Lakers are a team. You mentioned the deadline coming up in less than a month. I think the Lakers are one of the more interesting teams. We've kind of labeled them as that two-timeline team, kind of where what LeBron on the roster right now, and then what the future could look like. Where you have half of your roster on expiring contracts. You're still holding on to that 2031 or 2032 first-round pick. You potentially could have $50 million in cap space. What does cap space get you? And then look at 2027 when you could have $100 million. That's the free agency with Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns and Nikola Jokic, all those players out there. And that's hard to balance when you're looking at it from the Lakers front office. Do you risk, can you move the needle enough to get to where Oklahoma City is? I don't see that right now, but that's the job for Rob Pelinka over the next couple weeks.
Shams, that the Lakers with Luka and LeBron, it's the second night of a back-to-back for them. They made some comments after last night's game that left their status for tonight up in the air.
A hint at LeBron James and potentially Luka Doncic being out tonight. The Lakers made a roster move. They've called up guard Kobe Buffkin on a 10-day contract. He's going to be available for them tonight. That's a sign that Luka Doncic could potentially miss this game because they're adding Kobe Buffkin as guard help. He's averaged about 30 points for them in the G League this season. So that's a sign that Luka Doncic, he's dealt with some groin issues and other things that he said yesterday that he could be out tonight.
Yeah, listening to their comments last night, it didn't sound like Luka was going to be giving it a go, but we still got a couple of hours here till tip-off. Hey, while we're talking about these two teams, the Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers, in case you missed it, let's just go back to their matchup on December 28th. Why, you ask? Well, Kings guard Dennis Schroeder, Luka Doncic, they get into it here. You can see this is what happened on the court, but off the court it escalated quickly because 40 minutes after the game, Schroeder confronted and attempted to strike Doncic. The NBA suspended him for 3 games here. So, Shams, this is all coming to light because of this suspension. What more can you tell us about what happened?
Dennis Schroeder essentially camped out, waited for Luka Doncic in the back hallways of Crypto.com arena. And when he saw him and had somewhat of an alone moment, he confronted him and he attempted to swing on him, strike him with his hand. The league concluded that it was an attempt to, that he didn't actually strike Luka Doncic in the face, in the upper body area. So why did Dennis Schroeder go about this path? My understanding is Luka Doncic has been calling him the B word for the last few games, even going back to the offseason when they played each other in Olympic play. And so Dennis Schroeder's point is, listen, if you're going to call me the B word on the court, you have to expect that I'm not just going to take that lightly off the court, and I'm just not going to let that go like this never happened on the court. And we saw that take place. The 3 games suspension, no coincidence. It happened right before these two teams played. I'm sure there was video surveillance also reviewed by the NBA.
Yeah, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that after the game you got to go after people. But when you start talking about the NBA, people forget these are grown men. People have kids. People got fathers, they got mamas. They not finna let their loved ones just watch them allow you to stand over them as a man. And I saw Luka do this. And I ain't gonna lie, this bothers me too, to alert everybody like, oh, this is just a show and woo-woo. It's like if he drew a line in the sand and y'all had to come, and headbutt each other, like it is what it is.
Did that happen with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was actually when I was in Sacramento.
Okay.
Nikola, was it Yoke? No, it wasn't Yoke. It was
Bogdanovich? Who are we talking about?
It was a big
Nurkic.
It was Nurkic.
Okay.
That's who it was. It was
Denver or Portland?
Portland shot me a little extra one on the screen, and I was like, and he, gave me the little mumble of another language and then translated the language. I didn't like the language that was said. I attempted to go to the locker room, never made it in there. Great job by NBA security, and I did not get suspended. So
I believe it's called messing around and finding out. I will also say that when it comes to Luka and Schroeder, it goes back to international play because for Germany, where Schroeder's been awesome, MVP of the World Cup, MVP of Eurobasket, and Slovenia, they've played each other over the last couple summers in very high stakes game, which Germany has won, and Schroeder has let Luka know about it. Yeah. So I'm sure that was some of the undertones of what was happening in this game as well.
What's up with those hallways at Crypto?
There,
A lot of
At least
things
it wasn't
happen
the
there.
secret
always
tunnel.
talk. It was
I love
always
it. I love it because they keep saying that the NBA is getting soft. So I love it. I love the intensity. I
Well,
want guys to
apparently,
stay.
I mean, this couldn't have been a more interesting start to the show for us.
Into a 10-day contract. Why are they making this move now, and what does this mean for the team for their future? How does this affect the salary cap as well as the on-court strategy for LA? That's what I'm going to get into. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the LakersNation.com YouTube channel. Make sure you do subscribe right here. So the Lakers, according to Shams Charania, are signing guard Kobe Buffkin to a 10-day contract. Buffkin has starred for the South Bay G League affiliate and spent some time with the Grizzlies this season. Kobe Buffkin with South Bay, 24.7 points on 50% from the field and 43% from three so far with South Bay. Now, that is just a 7-game sample size, but nonetheless, he has been absolutely tearing it up for the South Bay Lakers. So not a surprise that the Lakers ultimately decided to give Kobe Buffkin a look. But what does this mean actually for the team moving forward? What does this mean on the court right now? So ironically, the Lakers tonight are playing the Atlanta Hawks. That's going to take place at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. By the way, I'll be right here on the LakersNation.com YouTube channel doing a little play-by-play, breaking down the game. Come hang out. It's like a party. More lately been a bit of a somber party, but a party nonetheless. So come hang out tonight, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. But Kobe Buffkin on the court. Do we buy that that's what his three-point shooting is now? Because clearly three-point shooting is something of importance to the Lakers right now. Rui Hachimura should be back in action tonight. We believe he sat out last night in order to play in tonight's game, which is the second night of the back-to-back. But the Lakers' three-point shooting has been a big, big problem. So we want to take a look at what's happened with the Lakers over the season, really. But they ranked dead last now after last night's atrocious shooting performance combined with a way above average shooting performance from the Sacramento Kings. The Lakers now dead last in three-point percentage in the NBA and 29th in opponents' three-point percentage. So that means opponents are shooting great against the Lakers from behind the arc, and the Lakers themselves are shooting horrifically. They're at a significant shooting deficit every night. The Lakers are averaging 34%, rounded up to get there from three. Opponents averaging 38% from deep, and the Lakers are 27th in the NBA in corner threes allowed. So Kobe Buffkin, if you buy the three-point shooting, can help you a bit there as a scoring guard. Now, it's worth noting, ironically, he was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks, who the Lakers play tonight. He was the 15th pick in the NBA draft in 2023. So kind of similar to Nick Smith Jr. This is taking a risk, taking a chance, I suppose is the more appropriate word, on a player who had first-round draft capital. Now, in 2 seasons with Atlanta, he didn't shoot the ball particularly well from deep, just 22% from three for his career with the Atlanta Hawks. So that obviously is a bit concerning, but again, he's still a very young player. And if you're going to take a chance on somebody, usually you want it to be somebody who's young with upside. We talk about this with Nick Smith, him still being just 21 years old. There's upside here. Kobe Buffkin, he's just 22 years old. He was a first-round pick for a reason. Now, there's also a reason why the Atlanta Hawks ultimately moved on from him. He wasn't working out. Should the Lakers move on from Dalton Connect at some point, some other team is probably going to take a chance on him as well. Had Kobe Buffkin been playing well and be this exciting up-and-coming prospect, certainly the Atlanta Hawks would not have cut him. Same thing with Nick Smith with the Charlotte Hornets. So I think it's important that we temper expectations, but it's also possible for young players to just grow and develop, and sometimes it happens at different rates. So if the three-point shooting has indeed improved, perhaps that's an area that Kobe Buffkin can help the Lakers in. So effectively, you're taking a chance on a young player who could still be on the rise, and he's played very, very well in the G League, so why not give him a look right now? I'd also like to add in that it is possible the Lakers are very short-handed tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, we expect Rui Hachimura to be back, but LeBron James will probably be out second night of a back-to-back. As I am recording this, the Lakers injury report, and I'll double-check it as I'm talking here, but the Lakers injury report has not been submitted. As of this point, again, they played last night, so that is not a surprise. That's not unusual at all. But we don't have the Lakers injury report right now. But I'd brace yourselves because Luka did mention some groin-ish issues with his legs as well, and said he wasn't sure if he was going to play in last night's game. So it's possible the Lakers don't have LeBron or Luka for tonight's game. Again, official injury report not out, so we'll see ultimately what that looks like. But giving Kobe Buffkin a 10-day contract with no Austin Reeves, no LeBron James likely, maybe no Luka tonight. We'll see what that looks like. Again, nothing official right now. You may be very, very short in ball handlers and guys who can create. Maybe the Lakers take tonight's game and they just give an extra look to a few players out there. And frankly, when we look at the depth of the Lakers roster right now, there have been a number of guys who just haven't panned out. Is this an indictment of, say, Dalton Connect? Would you rather have Kobe Buffkin and give him a shot? At this point, do you just say Dalton has not been able to step up the way you needed to? I think he's had some okay-ish performances, but certainly not done what you were hoping. Is this perhaps an opportunity to say, you know what, when we look, we've got Dalton Connect, Bronny, he actually hit a couple of threes last night, but are you going to turn to him? Nick Smith Jr. has been getting minutes in the rotation, but is he really going to hit? He seems to be more miss than hit, but a very much hit or miss player. Maxi Kleba is not ideal. Adou Thiero is hurt right now. So really, you only have, even if everybody's healthy, you only have probably 10 guys that you would actually want to put in an NBA game right now. So you got to go searching for some kind of depth on your roster. And that could be part of the thought process here with Kobe Buffkin. Hey, we've given Nick Smith a look. He's had some good performances. He's had some not so good performances. Bronny, we know where he's at right now. Dalton Connect has not really been able to step up in the way that the Lakers were hoping him to when they picked up that option on his contract for next year. So maybe this is, hey, Kobe Buffkin's done well enough in the G League. Let's give him an opportunity. Now, the 10-day contract piece to this, I think, is important as well. What does this mean for the Lakers' salary situation moving forward? And can they permanently use that 15th roster spot? I've got a sense of what the Lakers are actually up to. Remember, salaries are mattering more than ever now, and how you manage your cap is extremely important. Part of the reason why the Lakers have had some struggles this season has to do with the fact that they've got guys that are taking up roster spots that aren't necessarily giving you the right bang for your buck. In addition to, we could talk about the roster construction and all the other things, plenty of other things if we want to go down the rabbit hole of negativity. But in terms of where the Lakers are at right now, and I know a lot of us are living in that rabbit hole in this moment. I totally get that. But where the Lakers are at right now, they are hard capped at the first apron. They are 1.1 million below that first apron right now. That, as of today, does not give them the flexibility to actually sign anyone to their open roster spot. They have 14 players under contract right now on normal, regular contracts. They have 15 roster spots. So they've had an open roster spot all season. However, they've been so close to the first apron that they're hard capped at that they have not been allowed to sign a player to that 15th spot. That will be changing in just a few days here. The Lakers would be allowed to sign somebody. Now, adding Kobe Buffkin's 10-day contract, which is going to come in, I believe, just over $100,000. It'll be just over that. That would, in theory, push back the date at which they are able to use their they actually sign somebody to a full roster spot, to their 15th roster spot. But you're essentially doing it ahead of time by signing Kobe Buffkin to a 10-day spot. Right now, they could sign him to another 10-day contract after this. At the conclusion of a second 10-day contract, they have to make a decision. They would either sign him outright or they would let him go. Now, what I think the Lakers are doing is, with the trade deadline coming up on February 5th, and what I think the Lakers should be doing here, this is a way to bring in Kobe Buffkin right now, use your 15th roster spot without committing to using your 15th roster spot. You get what I'm saying? It's only a 10-day contract. So if the Lakers want, they can create the flexibility to still have an open 15th roster spot. And the reason why that's important is, heading into the trade deadline, it can be, not that it will be, but it can be beneficial to have an open roster spot to help facilitate trades. You find a deal you want to make. In order to make the math work on the deal, you've got to take back, say, 2 players and only trade away 1. Well, good thing you've got that open roster spot. So by signing Kobe Buffkin not to a full roster spot, which they would be able to do in just a few days, you're signing him to a 10-day, which then allows you to maintain the flexibility to use your open roster spot ahead of the trade deadline. Now, if all goes well with Kobe Buffkin and the Lakers, what I would assume happens is they'll sign him to a second 10-day contract. Yes, in theory, that just pushes back a little bit further the date at which the veteran minimum prorates to enough for you to sign him. But sometime post trade deadline, the Lakers would then sign Kobe to a full. It sounds weird saying the Lakers signed Kobe, but they would sign him to a full guaranteed contract if everything goes well. Or it could be you sign him to 110-day, it goes terribly, and they move on and they just have an open roster spot. And there you go. But the bottom line is I don't expect the Lakers to lock in their 15th roster spot to a guaranteed for the remainder of the season contract until the trade deadline passes, because I think at this point, you're so close anyway, you might as well maintain the advantage that having an open roster spot would bring, and signing Kobe Buffkin to a 10-day gives you the flexibility to add him to your team, get the benefit right now when the Lakers clearly need help right now, but still retain the flexibility that you can have with an open roster spot heading into the trade deadline. Okay. Appreciate everybody for joining. Give me your thoughts on Kobe Buffkin joining the Lakers here. I mean, this is another small-ish guard who scores, but there's questions about, what he can do defensively. The Lakers seem to like these types of players, and I don't want to pour cold water on this at all, but the Lakers do seem to like these kinds of players. We think about Kendrick Nunn, Gabe Vincent, even Lonnie Walker to a degree, right? Fits this mold. Nick Smith Jr. being another guy. That said, he's a first-round talent for a reason. He also got waived for a reason. I think it's a very low-risk move for the Lakers to bring him in. He's done some impressive things in the G League with the South Bay Lakers, and given where the Lakers are at currently with their lack of depth, you might as well give it a shot here and see if you found something. Regardless of the position that he plays, is a smallish guard really what they need? No, they need big, athletic, super switchy defenders at the guard wing, and you could argue at the center position as well. But they also need NBA level talent in general to round out the depth of this team. And I think that's an area that they're lacking right now. So if Kobe Buffkin winds up being that, and he's something of a diamond in the rough look, let's face it, if you find even an average NBA rotation player with the way the Lakers acquired Kobe Buffkin, adding him to the South Bay Lakers, that is a major find, regardless of whether the skill set fit is a good one or not. Finding an NBA level rotation player coming out of the G League would be a very nice thing for a team that is limited in terms of assets like the Lakers to have. So I'm excited to see what Kobe Buffkin.
In the comments, Austin Reaves has emerged as one of the Los Angeles Lakers' most important pieces during the 2025-26 season, continuing his upward trajectory as a scorer, secondary playmaker, and stabilizing presence in the backcourt. Through the season, Reaves is averaging 26.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game, producing at a level that has solidified his role as a core offensive option alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. His absence has been notably felt in recent weeks. Reaves has missed 9 straight games due to a calf injury, and the Lakers have struggled to find consistency without him in the lineup. Over their last 9 games during that stretch, Los Angeles has lost 4 games and consistently failed to generate offense outside of Doncic and James. Despite his importance to the team, it came as a surprise when Rich Paul, James's longtime agent, proposed a trade involving Reaves during an episode of the Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman. During the podcast, Paul suggested that the Lakers should explore a deal for Memphis Grizzlies star Jaren Jackson Jr., even if it required including Reaves as part of a potential trade package. If I was the Lakers, I would be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner for Jaren Jackson. There's a world where you can do what's best for your team and do what's best for Austin. However, James reacted to those comments following the Lakers' win over the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday. I think you all know by now Rich is his own man, and what Rich says is not a direct reflection of me and how I feel, James told ESPN's Dave McMenamin. And I hope people know that. I hope people know that. And if they're not sensible to know that, then I don't know what to tell them. AR knows how I feel about him, James continued. All you got to do is look at us on the bench. Me and AR talk every single day. Reaves, who joined the Lakers as an undrafted free agent in 2021, is currently James's longest tenured teammate. The two have built a strong on- and off-court relationship since Reaves' emergence with the franchise, and James has consistently praised the fifth-year guard publicly. Paul's comment comes at a time when Reaves' future with the Lakers continues to be closely monitored. During the offseason, he declined a max extension from the Lakers that would have paid $89.2 million over 4 years, opting to play out the year and enter free agency. Reeves is eligible to sign a 5-year, $241 million deal with the Lakers and could command a 4-year, $178.5 million contract elsewhere, per ESPN's Bobby Marks. Austin Reeves has emerged as one of the Los Angeles Lakers' most important pieces during the 2025-26 season, continuing his upward trajectory as a scorer, secondary playmaker, and stabilizing presence in the backcourt. Through the season, Reeves is averaging 26.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game, producing at a level that has solidified his role as a core offensive option alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. His absence has been notably felt in recent weeks. Reeves has missed 9 straight games due to a calf injury, and the Lakers have struggled to find consistency without him in the lineup. Over their last 9 games during that stretch, Los Angeles has lost 4 games and consistently failed to generate offense outside of Doncic and James. The Los Angeles Lakers' search for a 3-and-D wing has led them to one of the league's most intriguing young forwards and into one of its most complicated trade constructions. According to NBA insider Jake Fisher, the Lakers' interest in Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga is real, ongoing, and increasingly constrained by structural realities that may require a 3-team deal to resolve. I reported that the Lakers have some interest in him. They checked in over the summer, Fisher said Tuesday on Bleacher Report's NBA Insider Notebook. The Lakers are continuing to look at all options on the 3-and-D wing market right now, and they're not finding many. So of course Jonathan Kuminga is on their list. But I think for either team to get him, they're going to need to find some type of 3-team arrangement. Fisher reported that Golden State has been clear about what it does not want. The Warriors have no interest in absorbing contracts beyond next season, and they are not eager to move Kuminga for a collection of role players, the contracts most readily available from the Lakers. Golden State has made it very clear they have no interest in Sacramento's Malik Monk, Fisher said, and I don't think the Warriors want to move Kuminga for some combination of Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Maxi Kleber. That impasse is what creates the need for a third team, one that can supply either the solid rotational player or the draft capital Golden State is seeking. Fisher first reported that the Lakers contacted Golden State about Kuminga during the side's restricted free agency standoff last summer and have continued to monitor his situation. The Lakers did call Golden State about Kuminga during the side's summer standoff, Fisher wrote Monday in the Steinline. I'm told that the Lakers have likewise continued to monitor Kuminga's situation while casting a wide net. It is the clearest confirmation yet that Kuminga is on the Lakers' internal board as they search for size, defense, and athleticism on the wing. Around the league, Kuminga is increasingly viewed as a potential buy low candidate, not because his talent has declined, but because his role in Golden State has narrowed. At just 23, Kuminga remains one of the league's most physically gifted young forwards, combining elite athleticism with defensive versatility and transition scoring. His offensive consistency remains a work in progress, but his upside is undeniable. That profile makes him different from other names linked to the Lakers, such as Miami's Andrew Wiggins or New Orleans' Herb Jones, both of whom would command higher prices and longer-term financial commitments. Kuminga represents a more realistic and more flexible target, a developmental bet with upside, rather than a finished product with a premium cost. Kuminga's trade restriction lifts Jan. 15, roughly 3 weeks before the February 5 deadline, but Fisher cautioned that neither side is treating that date as a trigger. Golden State understands that it might need until February 5, Fisher wrote, adding that the Warriors are not motivated to move Kuminga simply to move him. Their goal is to extract meaningful on-court value. Golden State wants a legitimate rotational piece or two that can raise championship odds while Stephen Curry remains at an elite level. That means Kuminga will not be cheap and he will not be a salary dump, but he is relatively cheaper than their other trade targets. The Lakers' appeal as a suitor lies in flexibility, not star power. They have expiring contracts, young shooters, and future draft optionality, but not the kind of centerpiece asset Golden State appears to want directly. That is why the concept of a 3-team deal has become central. In such a structure, the Lakers would send their available contracts elsewhere. A third team would provide Golden State with a more appealing asset, and Kuminga would land in Los Angeles. It is complicated, it is fragile, but it is not impossible. The Lakers are not chasing Kuminga because he is perfect. They are monitoring him because he is attainable. They are not ignoring Wiggins or Jones, but they are adjusting to market reality. And in a deadline environment defined by scarcity, that adjustment may be the most important move of all. Whether the Lakers can solve the structural puzzle required to land Jonathan Kuminga remains uncertain. And you, fan, what do you think about Kuminga's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments. The Golden State Warriors bounced back from a disappointing loss to the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday by blowing out the